Welcome to this episode of the BlockTalk Africa show powered by Binance. My name is Momo. I am your host for the show. This is your home for all things crypto, blockchain, and the future of money. Last week, we talked about the strategies of trading for beginners, and this week, we have a brand new guest with us on a brand new topic. If you don't yet have a Binance account, this is your chance to get one and get onto the Binance platform and sign up and use the referral code KISSFM. If you're among our first 500 people to sign up for an account, you will get 100 shillings in your spot wallet. And follow us on all our social media platforms at Binance Africa. And any comments or questions that you have, place them in the comments and I'll be there to answer them for you. In this particular episode, we are going to talk about Binance Earn and how to stake. And a huge welcome to our guest. Welcome to the show. Tell us who you are and what do you do.
Thank you for having me. So my name is Arnold. I am a crypto trader, I am a crypto hodler, I am a crypto trainer, and I'm an evangelist of cryptocurrencies.
Our tip of the week is for you to check the terms and conditions before you stake your crypto. There are two different ways of staking. You can either do flexible or you can do locked. But check the terms that have been placed for that particular pair before you do the transaction and you lock your crypto. How long have you been in the crypto space?
Okay, first time getting into crypto was 2017, but I didn't know what I was doing. But actively in crypto from the time of COVID, that is when I've been actively in the crypto market. So I can say this is my sixth year actively, but conventionally it's more than 6 years.
Awesome. And in this particular episode, because you are our expert of the day, we want to get into Binance Earn and what staking is, because that's a feature that is on the platform. So, for the people who are meeting this term for the very first time, kindly help us understand what is Binance Earn.
Fantastic. So Binance Earn is a feature within the Binance platform that enables users to earn what you call passive income. Okay, passive income is basically money that is being generated even without you having to do anything. So Binance Earn is just a section or a feature on the Binance application, on the Binance platform, that enables users to be able to earn passively using their cryptocurrencies, not just passively without anything. You earn passively, but you're using your cryptocurrencies to earn passively.
Okay. So, how does crypto staking work on the platform?
Before I even explain how staking works, let me first explain what crypto staking is. So I can compare staking to what you call the traditional finance in what you call now a fixed account. In that a bank tells you, come put your money in this account, and then the bank uses your money to do other things. They may be investing in other products. They make some money, and then they end up giving you some interest based on the amount of money that you had saved with them. So staking works the same way with how the fixed accounts work in the banking industry.
So when we are staking, one of the terminologies that we typically see is APY and APR. Please explain to us what that difference is. When we see it, we can be able to understand what it means.
Good. So, as I said, when you are staking, you're giving Binance the opportunity to use your money to do what they want to do, and then they give you an interest. Now, we have APR and APY. Whenever you are staking, this interest is being given on an annual basis. So APR stands for annual percentage rate, while APY stands for annual percentage yield. Please note that all these two are annual. So when you see an APY of maybe 10%, it doesn't mean it's 10% per day. It's 10% at the end of that year. The difference here is that APR uses what you call simple interest, while APY uses what you call compound interest. So the way simple interest works, principal rate time, that is APR. APY uses compound interest, but all of them are based annually. So if you see 10%, 20%, it is not in a day, in a week, in a month, it is annual percentage yield or annual percentage rate.
And now that we've gotten what APR and APY are, what kind of staking can we do on the Binance Earn platform? Which are the different categories of staking that are available to a user on the platform?
Good. So on the Binance platform, we have two main types of staking. We have what you call a flexible staking, and we have what you call a fixed staking. From the word flexible, the plan is flexible itself, in that you can withdraw your assets anytime, even before the maturity of that staking duration. Because whenever you're staking, you have an option of choosing, you want to select the 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, 120, a year. But with flexible, you can opt out anytime before the maturity of that particular duration. Okay, and you end up getting some interest because you have chosen the flexible staking option. But now on the fixed staking option, it is fixed, in that if you select 100 days, it has to be 100 days. You cannot withdraw your funds within those duration. So you have to wait for the entire 100 days to lapse. At times, they might allow you to withdraw, but if you withdraw, you end up losing all the interest that had been accrued on that particular staking plan.
Do I get the same level of APR or APY if I put it on flexible or locked?
No, when you choose flexible, you get a less return on investment because it's flexible. That means you can cash out anytime. But if you choose the fixed, the APRs are higher because you're committing to commit your cryptos there, and you're not going to touch them. You're not going to withdraw them anytime soon. So, of course, they have to give you a higher APY, a higher APR. So, fixed staking always has a higher APR compared to the flexible staking. But I don't know why most guys choose the flexible. You just want to cash out your money anytime instead of leaving it there and earning even higher interest rates on the Binance platform.
And for the people who are getting onto the platform, are there minimums to how much I can be able to place onto a staking platform?
That entirely depends on the coin that you want to stake, because different projects have different amounts of minimum value that you require. So maybe you want to stake something like BNB, you want to stake something like XRP. Every coin differs from the minimum amount that you can stake, because one BNB is not equivalent to one XRP. One BNB is not equivalent to one BTC. So if they have a limit of a value, then that value will now be tied or converted to the equivalent amount of crypto for that particular staking plan. They keep differing anytime. At times you get this the minimum, at times they keep fluctuating, of course, depending also on how the market is fluctuating. So the minimum depends on the type of coin that you are staking on the platform.
So if I am doing staking on the platform, are there any risks that are involved with staking, or can I lose all my money when I put it in staking? Please tell us a little about that.
Good. Now, first thing first, whenever you are staking, you cannot lose your assets. I want to understand him here very, very keenly. There's what you call assets, there's what you call the value of the asset. I am staking 20 Solanas. I cannot lose those 20 sols. There will always be 20. And in fact, I will have more Solanas because I'm earning interest. What can happen, or the major risk of staking, is now what you call the market risk, because this is crypto. It's volatile. Okay, I can stake my 20 sols. The price is $150 per Solana. Then at the end of the staking duration, the price for Solana is $100. So essentially, yes, I have more Solana, but that Solana now has less value because the market has done what? Has gone down. So the only risk on staking is now what you call the market risk. But for those who understand how crypto works, it's to your advantage, because when the market goes down, of course, you have to go up at some point. So the disadvantage is basically the market risk. You can lose the value of your assets, but you'll always have more assets because you are staking, and that in turn gives you more assets to add on top of what you already have with you.
And it's important for that particular distinction, because most people look at what is a USDT value
Correct.
of what they have placed in, and they say they lost money. But that's a very good explanation. So I want us to go a little advanced and go into DeFi. What are the options that exist for staking in the DeFi space?
Now, in the DeFi, it's a bit complicated, just not that complicated, but slightly complicated, because DeFi is now what you call decentralized finance. You cannot do it on the Binance exchange side. You have now to go to the Web3 part, because that's now where you have the DeFi. Now, for DeFi, you can either become what you call a liquidity provider, okay, or you can just decide to stake an asset or a pair and provide liquidity. This is how it works. Assuming you want to swap a token, let's say you want to swap a token like Baby Doge against BNB. So what you can do, you can decide to supply liquidity. Okay, just go to either PancakeSwap or whichever, provide liquidity so that whenever guys want to swap from one token to another, they are being charged some fees. And because you are a liquidity provider, then you end up getting back some of the fees that is being used. And these fees are going to be sent in terms of what you call liquidity pool tokens, the LP tokens. So you are staking your assets by providing liquidity, and then you're getting in return what you call the LP tokens, which you can now swap back to either your desired coin, be it BNB, be it USDT. So DeFi staking is a bit complicated, but of course you have some direct ways to stake on DeFi. You can just stake your Ethereum on DeFi directly, and you can earn some interest. But the major way on how people do it on DeFi is by supplying liquidity. You be a liquidity provider for swapping tokens and end up getting what you call LP tokens or liquidity pool tokens, which are now sent directly to your wallet. But for beginners, I'll recommend first go through the flexible or the fixed staking options on the Binance application.
Our feature of the week is Binance Earn. This is your home for all things passive income. If you have a crypto asset in your spot wallet that you're currently not trading, you can make passive income by placing it in the Earn wallet. Here you will find two main options, either flexible or locked, and there you can start making money from the next day. And if you don't yet have a Binance account, this is your perfect time to get one. Awesome. And I think you mentioned a new terminology that we have not yet had on the podcast, which is liquidity. Could you guide us a little on what liquidity is and why is it so important, especially in the decentralized finance space?
Now, liquidity is basically money. That's the basic description of liquidity. But now, how is this money being applied in liquidity? Let's assume we launch a token. Okay, you can call your token maybe Momo. We pay it with something like BNB. For someone to be able to buy and sell that Momo token, we need to have money ready for someone to swap from Momo to BNB and from BNB to Momo. So what liquidity basically means, it is basically money set aside for that particular function of swapping. In that you have some BNB ready, you have some Momo ready, which are paired. In that when someone wants to buy Momo using BNB, it is available. When they want to sell Momo get BNB, it's available. So that is now what we call liquidity. Money available for users to be able to swap from one token to another. If there's no liquidity, you cannot swap a token. You cannot buy a token. You cannot sell a token because they don't have liquidity. That happens on the DeFi side of crypto.
Awesome. And please note, there will never be a Momo token. When someone is selling to you, it is not me. But that's just an aside of this. So let's come a little into how people make money on Binance Earn. Can I actually realistically generate passive income by using Binance Earn?
Yes, you can definitely make money by using Binance Earn. You see, with Binance, we have the staking option. We also have what you call a savings option. Now, with the savings option on Binance, you are like lending out your crypto to others because I don't know if users know this, but we have loans in crypto. Binance offers loans to users in crypto. And when you get this loan, you pay it back with some interest and you cannot run away because you have to give collateral, which again is in form of crypto. So now when you put your money on the Binance savings platform, Binance will use your money to loan out others who are going to pay back with a higher interest rate. And some of this or part of this interest rate is going to come back to you. So essentially, you are like lending someone money and they're paying you back in crypto. So you can make money. But now it depends with the magnitude of your volume or your margin. 10% of $1,000 is not equivalent to 10% of $100. So of course, the more margin you have, the more money you make. Same thing with staking. If I stake $1 million, someone else stakes $1,000, we can't make the same amount of returns. But you can make money on the Binance Earn platform by staking, by saving, because it all depends on how much money are you staking or how much money are you saving on the platform.
Okay. So as a beginner who's coming up on the platform and I'm considering using Binance Earn, what are some of the decisions I need to make so that I can decide, will I go flexible, will I go locked, will I go to DeFi? What are some of the considerations I should have in order to make those decisions?
First thing first, the asset that you are staking. Is it a high risk asset? Is it a low risk asset? Because you cannot maybe want to stake a very volatile asset, a meme token that has just launched the other day. You want to stake it. Of course, you know that meme coins, they're not based on any fundamentals. Okay, they can just go to even zero within a single day. So stake assets that have some utility. Something like the BNB token, it has a very good utility. Okay, stake assets that have utility. That is number one. Number two, stake assets that have, of course, some good APYs, some good APRs. We all want money, so of course, go for those assets that have some good APYs, some good APRs. Number three, consider this: are you in for the long term? Are you in for the short term? Even for the long term, go for the fixed staking. Get some more interest rates and get more tokens or more coins, because you have a token and you have a coin. Again, the token that you are staking or the coin that you are staking, is it liquid? Does it have liquidity? When you want to sell it, will you get liquidity to sell that token? So those are some of the ways I can ask or I can recommend beginners to consider before you start staking an asset. Consider all those four things, then go ahead and stake that particular coin that you want to stake.
And the good thing that I love about the Binance platform is that if you're doing Binance Earn, Binance itself actually provides a lot of liquidity.
Correct.
So it makes sure that you're able to do those swaps as you need
Yeah,
in a
sure.
particular time. And if you haven't yet signed up for a Binance account, this is a perfect opportunity for you to be able to do so. Get onto the Binance platform and use the referral code KISSFM. If you're among the first 500 people this week to use that code, you will get 100 shillings in your spot account. So I want to look at, now I'm getting onto the platform and I want to get a good APR. Are there particular assets that are on the platform that they're the easiest to get a high APR or APY on the platform that you could probably give us a hint about?
So basically, there are several factors that contribute to APR and APR. There's no team that just sits somewhere and says this one is going to have 20%, 30% for this, 60% for this. It differs due to various factors. Number one, the price of that particular asset. Of course, if an asset class is doing very, very well, or a coin is doing very, very well, then the APIs tend to also favor that particular project, because, of course, money is being generated on that particular project. So there's a technique that is being used by exchanges on how they are getting this data, and these APIs keep changing every single day. You can't get like today's 20%. It's not going to be 20% constant. If there's FAD on that particular project, then of course the API is going to drop. If you have some, okay, when I say about FAD, I mean this is fear, uncertainty, and doubt about a given particular project. Okay, if we have some good bullish news about a given project, then of course it's going to favor the APYs of that particular project. And also the duration that you are taking. Of course, a shorter duration means lower APRs, lower APYs, but a longer duration, of course, means a higher APR. So primarily, how we get the staking percentages, it's basically based on how good the project is performing. If it's doing very, very well, of course, the APIs are going to be very, very good. But if it's doing badly, if it's getting delisted, a lot of FAD happening, some dumping in the token, then of course, don't consider staking such assets. Stake assets that have some good market sentiments, assets that of course are geared towards success. That is how you can basically identify these good projects that you can stake on the Binance application.
Awesome. I am learning so many things, and I hope even for audience that is the same. This is a topic that we can never exhaust when
Absolutely.
it comes to Binance Earn. I'm really grateful for your time taking us through how we can be able to make money using Binance Earn and staking. That has been our episode this week. We have been learning about Binance Earn. Next week, we are going to look at how to use crypto in our everyday life, and we'll have a brand new guest on the show. If you don't yet have a Binance account, this is a perfect time to get one. The thing that you need to do, go onto the Binance platform and use the referral code KISSFM to sign up for a Binance account. If you're among our first 500 people who sign up this week, you'll get 100 shillings in your crypto wallet. And follow us on social media platforms at Binance Africa. My name is Momo. I'm your host for the show. See you guys in the next episode.